Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. It's a special day. It's POV Ceremony Monday. But before we get to that, our house guest of the day is Autumn Christensen. Autumn, thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Autumn, check out our Patreon link in the description below. And down there, you will also find a link for Paramount Plus if you're interested in checking out the live feeds. And if you do use our link to try them out, it really helps us out. So we appreciate that as well. Oh my goodness. What a freaking day. I know. I'm so sad about James Earl Jones. Very, very sad to see him go. I also didn't realize that he lived like a few counties over, or one county over from me, which is wild. But very sad that he passed away. But let's get into some stuff that will lift the spirits a bit. When we left off yesterday, Angela was causing quite a stir in the house. She needs to make sure that her grandkids get to see Nana 3 times a week on TV so that they know that she's okay, and she is doing whatever she can to get off the block. As we know, McKenzie won the power veto after one round of Otev. I'm still not over it. If you did not see yesterday's special Sunday edition of the updates and spoilers, McKenzie won the veto because everybody else got the first question wrong in Otev. So it was over after one round. She was the only person that got that question right. Absolutely insane. What a friggin' waste. We need more Otev. Can we do Otev again next week? Insane. It just goes to show you again how crazy this season is. But after winning, her first thought was to leave the nominations the same, and it was looking like Chemo would be leaving over Angela this week. But then, yesterday morning, Angela had some made up info to share with Chelsea. She said she was up late eavesdropping the night before. That part is absolutely true. She was trying to listen in on conversations. And she said she overheard Leah, Quinn, and the trio of T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina. She heard them all forming an alliance of 5 and like solidifying it, locking it in, which is not true. They were hanging out. They were up really late and being loud, but they were not creating an alliance. I'm still not sure, even at this point, if Angela actually believes that she heard this or if she just made it up with the purpose of stirring things up and hopefully getting the veto used this week. I don't know. But in any case, it freaked Chelsea out. She went and told Cam and McKenzie about it, and Cam was like, "Oh, well, I don't think Angela would just make stuff up." Have you met Angela? What? Have you been playing this game? I don't know. But Chelsea and McKenzie are thinking it's time to make a big move. So they were leaning towards using the veto on Angela and putting Quinn up as their replacement nominee. Oh my God. What a turn of events. What a swing that would be. So Lisa's been evicted for a long time. Leah was also being considered as a potential replacement nominee. I gotta say, Angela wasted no time throwing her in the garbage. She was so grateful that Leah last week for using the veto on her, but now that that's done, Angela's like, "Bye, Leah, in the trash." All right. So the whole situation with the veto was very much up in the air still when we ended yesterday because McKenzie still wanted to have one-on-ones with everyone, see what the vibe of the house was, and then make a decision from there. So McKenzie was doing her chats and she was talking to Rubina and T-Core in the HOH room, a little 2-on-1 action. And McKenzie says, "All right, I know I said if I win the veto that I would keep the nominations the same, but now that I actually have it, I'm thinking about what the best move would be for all of us. So I want to hear everyone out." And I just have to mention right off the bat, McKenzie, she's really letting this veto get to her head. As Hamster Watch said on Twitter, McKenzie really has a bad case of POV-itis. I mean, she's really milking this win. Also, she's just going on and on about how she doesn't want people to think that she's a comp beast. Well, maybe you should stop talking about it. It's not like she's running away with this thing. She's won 2 AI arenas, the Ainsley competition on night 1, and now a veto. It's not like she's Tucker lighting the world on fire, right? But she's like, I don't want people to think that I'm the smartest person on the planet because I got the question right in Otev. She's the only one bringing this up over and over again. She's the only one calling herself a comp beast. So, girl, rein it in. But McKenzie is asking for Tikor and Rubina's thoughts. Tikor is worried that if Chemo is still up on the block against Angela, he might not have the votes to stay. And she's correct, because at that time, it was looking like Chemo would go home against Angela. She also brings up she's not sure if this girls' alliance is happening or what, right? They still haven't solidified that. There's been a lot of talk about it over the last few weeks, but nothing solid. So McKenzie's like, I want you guys to know, if you have any concerns about Leah, feel free to say them in front of me. Like, this is a safe space to talk about Leah. We can talk crap about her all day. She says, Leah and I are close personally, but I can separate personal from game. I mean, we have seen both Leah and McKenzie throw each other under the bus over and over and over again. So, yeah. McKenzie says, if you got crap to say about Leah, just go for it. So, okay, this group of 3, they talk about how they want to go to the end with people that they would want to see win if they do not win themselves. And they're like, we're not going to the end with people that we just think we can beat. Like, that's so lame. I just have to say, like, it's so annoying when people get on their high horses and, like, look down on people who want to go to the end with someone they think they can beat. That's a valid strategy. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win and giving yourself the best opportunity to win. So that really annoys me. But anyway, they all agree they want to see 2 women at the end in the final 2. We'll see. I mean, that being said, Tikor would also like to bring Chemo as far as possible. So, yeah. Eventually, McKenzie brings up that she knows. Bowie said he's out of here. McKenzie brings up that she knows that Quinn and Leah were up very late the night before. Now, before starting her one-on-ones, Chelsea told her, if you could just, like, ask people if there was an alliance formed the night before, that'd be great. Like, let's see what people's reactions are. Let's see if anybody coughs anything up. So McKenzie is, like, trying to get into that topic, but she doesn't want to straight up be like, so is there an alliance formed? So McKenzie's like, I know that Quinn and Leah came back to bed late because I sleep in the same room as them. They were being really loud. So she's like, I don't know if things were formed. A lot can happen overnight, especially when Quinn is involved. And she's like, I don't know if there's anything that I should be concerned about. And Rubina and Tikor don't really address this because there was no alliance formed, so they don't even know what she's trying to get at with this. Like, they don't even realize she's trying to ask them anything. But then later on in the combo, McKenzie's asking again, is there anything that I need to be worried about with how late Quinn and Leah were up last night? Did they say anything to you guys? But before Rubina or Tikor can really answer, McKenzie just keeps talking, and she doesn't even really let them say anything. So McKenzie's like, I'm not saying you guys have, like, some 5-person pact, but, like, should I be worried? So, yeah, she doesn't really do a good job of getting into that. But they do discuss the possibility of McKenzie using the veto this week. And McKenzie makes a point of saying, I'm not really a fan of Angela on a personal level. But she's trying to think of how they can use her to benefit all of their games, right? Kind of, putting it out there. I might want to use the veto on Angela and go after a bigger target. So Tikor throws Quinn under the bus a bit. She brings up how the other day Quinn had mentioned, like, oh, there's more girls left than guys, and, like, what an honor it would be to be evicted, so, like, the women could make history or whatever. So, like, he wasn't being serious about that. But he put it out there, and I believe Tikor is trying to be like, look, he realizes that there's way more women than men left, so he might try and do something with that, so we need to keep an eye on him. Rubina also feels like Leah is one to look out for because she says Leah is going to do whatever is best for her game. I mean, It is Big Brother, so shouldn't you be? But, she's all, I'm for the team. So McKenzie agrees. Leah would potentially put two women up on the block to break their group up. And she says Leah is playing with the guys, right? She's been close to Cam. She's been close to Joseph, who's no longer with us. She's been close to Quinn. So she feels like Leah would choose those guys over the women. I mean, yeah, I could see that. But anyway, by the end of the conversation, Rubina and Tikor kind of confirm like Leah and Quinn did not really approach them about anything the night before. They were talking about how Leah was up because her hands were like burning. I think she was like making something with jalapenos earlier. So like her hands were really bothering her and she couldn't sleep. But they're like, yeah, there was nothing really going on there. All right, we'll come back to that. Meanwhile, Chelsea is chatting with Cam. And Chelsea says, if this information from Angela is true about the trio, Quinn and Leah, alliancing up, it's not. She's thinking, okay, McKenzie should use the veto on Angela, get her off the block, and then Quinn should go up next to Chemo. So she's asking Cam, how do you feel about this? And Cam is like, honestly, I think it'd be smarter to put Leah up as the replacement nominee because if she stays, she's going to continue to vote with the trio of Tikor, Chemo, and Rubina. But like, I don't see that. She just voted last week to evict Chemo. So I don't know about that. But Quinn, he says, is more likely to side with the two of them and McKenzie. He feels like they can work with Quinn more than they would be able to with Leah. Chelsea also adds, yeah, if Quinn is still in the house, we're also going to have the trio targeting him before they come after us. So that's good too. So they're feeling pretty good about Leah going up instead of Quinn. And then when it comes down to like who the veto should be used on between Angela and Chemo, of course they would rather, on a personal level, use it on Chemo. But they feel like Angela is the smarter choice because if Angela stays up on the block, there's a good chance that people will just vote her out instead of their target, either Leah or Quinn. So they're like, no, we got to use the veto on Angela and keep Chemo up there. They figure he should be safe, right? But yeah, from that combo, Chelsea is saying she's cool with Leah being the replacement instead of Quinn. So it's kind of like going back and forth between the two of them. So Chelsea is really hoping this information from Angela is not true, but she feels like it probably is. And Cam was all like, yeah, I could see people's body language has changed. Oh man, he must have learned all about body language from Tucker. I miss Tucker talking about how much he knows about all that. But McKenzie joins them and she's like telling them about her conversation with Tikor and Rubina. And she's like, I tried to bring up the Angela stuff, the information from her, but it was hard. I didn't really get that much out of them. You wouldn't let them talk. But she says at this point, she's thinking they should make this move no matter what. Even if they find out that Angela made up that alliance, she's saying, I think we should just do it anyway. I mean, yeah. And at a certain point, you're kind of past the point of no return, right? Because there's a chance, even if you do keep both Quinn and Leah, they're going to find out that you were considering seriously taking one of them out. So it's better to just go through with it after a certain point. But anyway, Chelsea says Cam is now thinking that Leah should go up as the replacement. McKenzie saying that she's cool with that, but she's not. She does not want Leah to be the one on the block because that's going to put her in a really awkward situation. She knows if Leah's up there and she votes to evict her, she might lose that jury vote, right? Leah's going to be pissed at her. So she's like, can I do a pity vote? And Chelsea's like, no. It's too close right now. You can't be doing pity votes. So, yeah, McKenzie is not for this. But Chelsea says, I'm going to go talk to Rubina and Tikor and see if I can get anything out of them and find out if this alliance is real or not. So Chelsea goes up to the HOH room to talk to Rubina and Tikor. And Chelsea lets them know Angela is going around saying that an alliance was formed with the trio, Leah and Quinn, and that you guys all want to flip the house. Rubina's like, that's laughable. It's not true. 0% true. And Tikor says, we were up late last night, but we were talking about how we don't trust Leah and Quinn. And that is true. They were talking about that a lot. And they were planning on trying to get Leah or Quinn nominated as a replacement this week. So Chelsea also says to them, Mackenzie's thinking about using the veto on Angela, whether the info is true or not. So Chelsea's asking them who should go up as a replacement nominee. She says whoever goes up is going home, and it's going to be either Quinn or Leah. So she's giving them two options here. And Chelsea says, I just want to split those two up, right? I don't care who goes home. I'm going to let you guys all decide who goes up. Classic Chelsea, right? Not wanting to take the blame and trying to put it onto other people to decide. But T-Core says, pettiness wise, she would love for Quinn to go up on the block. She is still pissed at him for flipping that vote a few weeks ago and not telling her about it. But yeah, Leah, she figures, is more connected to people. She has a stronger social game than Quinn. So she feels like maybe it should be Leah going up as replacement. And they all seem to agree that Leah going up and out would be the best move for them. Okay, so then Cam and Chelsea check in again, and Chelsea lets him know, I got confirmation from the trio, because she also talked to Chemo about this, and everybody in that trio confirmed the Angela information is not true. No alliance was formed with Leah, Quinn, and the trio. She also shares the trio is sketched out by Quinn and Leah, and they want to take a shot at them. So Cam's like, okay, cool. I was talking to McKenzie before, and now I feel like it does make more sense for Quinn to go instead of Leah. So again, we're back and forth about this. It took a while for them to actually nail down who should go. But at this point now, it's Quinn. So Chelsea's like, well, the trio was leaning more towards Leah going, but part of that, like, they're not sure that you would vote her out. Oof. I mean, yeah, Cam had his little flirtation with Leah early on. And even this week, he was saying if Leah was up next to Angela or Chemo, he wouldn't want to vote her out. Well, he's changed his tune on that because he sees the writing on the wall, right? But Chelsea and Cam agree that Leah will be easier to beat in competitions than Quinn. And once Quinn is gone, Leah is really only going to have Angela as a number. Is that true though? Because I feel like other people are gonna scoop her up. But Cam is like, it's great. It's gonna be the two of us and McKenzie versus the trio of T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina, because they just figured they're going to beat Angela and Leah in all of the competitions, no problem. Which in a regular, like in past seasons, I would probably agree with that, right? Because the competitions used to favor the athletic and such. But now some of these competitions are anybody's game. I mean, are we forgetting? Angela is already a 2-time HOH. Leah has won a veto. How many comps has Cam won? 1. So I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, they are now in agreement that Quinn should go, not Leah. So shortly after that, Leah checks in with Chelsea, and Leah says, boy, do I have a lot to tell you. So she talks about how Angela said earlier that she told Chelsea about some things that she heard last night. And they're about to get into this conversation, and the feed's cut. What? So when the feeds come back, Chelsea is spilling the Angela info to Leah. And she's like, yeah, Angela was saying that she eavesdropped 3 times, bless you. And she heard that you and Quinn were forming an alliance with the trio. And Leah is like, it is so hard for me right now to keep my thoughts in because I know that Angela is throwing my name under the bus. And it's not cool. So Chelsea brings up how Angela was also trying to propose an alliance with Chelsea, McKenzie, Cam, and Leah. And Chelsea says that just doesn't make sense. Why is she trying to start an alliance with you, Leah, when she's saying that you just got into this other alliance? It just doesn't make sense. So apparently Angela had told her that she was hoping she could change Leah's mind about the alliance. And Leah's like, this is just dangerous information to spread, especially since it's not true. So she's really not happy about all of this going around. She's so upset that she freaking farts mid-conversation with Chelsea, and they both lose it for a minute. No! Okay, so, moving on. McKenzie was continuing on with her one-on-one chats, and after her chat with Quinn, McKenzie's talking to the cameras, and she's like, Quinn could be going this week, and he doesn't even realize it. When she was talking to Quinn, she was kind of making it seem like she wasn't going to be using the veto anyway, and she was like, who do you think should leave between Chemo and Angela? So she was really trying to play that up. I think she also at one point was like, if I do use my veto, maybe we take a shot at the trio. Maybe I should put up Rubina, or maybe Chelsea should put up Rubina. So yeah, her conversation with him was very misleading, but she doesn't know what to do. She says, I need to talk to Chelsea. She feels bad for Quinn because she's going to be like crushing his dreams. But she knows if she was part of taking Quinn out, that would be a huge game move for her, right? She really wants to start building up her resume for the end game. But she's like, I'm really, really freaking out. I don't know what to do. So there was quite a bit, as in a ton, of waffling throughout the night about whether or not McKenzie should even use the veto. And if she does, should Chelsea put up Quinn? Should she put up Leah? What's the deal? So Cam was keeping McKenzie and Chelsea on track because he kept saying, like, if we don't do this, it's probably still going to get back to Quinn. Yup. And he's also bringing up, if Quinn was in this position, he would take the shot. Like, of course, it sucks for us to have to take him out. And, you know, he's a nice guy and all that. But, like, we're playing a game right now, and he would do the same. Yeah, I mean, we already know that he's thinking that Chelsea was going to have to be targeted rather soon, right? Going to have to get her out because she's been playing the middle. He knows that. So Cam is like, we got to do this. We got to take the shot. So McKenzie also shares with Chelsea and Cam. Oh, that's a little bit of interesting info. She shares that Leah said that McKenzie and Cam like each other and that Chelsea is uncomfortable with it. Blech. I mean, honestly, Leah clocked. I don't know if McKenzie and Cam are actually interested in each other romantically, but all the head scratchies and everything that they've been doing, we know that Chelsea is super jealous about that. So McKenzie's like, I hope Leah isn't spreading this around. Like, what the hell? She doesn't know what she's talking about. And Chelsea says, it's not true. I am not uncomfortable around you guys. It was just like on a game level. I don't want people targeting you because they think you're together or whatever. Sure. Chelsea has been so jealous. And she's pretty much despised Leah ever since Cam was flirting with Leah back in like week 2 or week 3. So Chelsea says Leah is upset because men aren't giving her attention. So she's just spreading stories right now. Oh, but even after all that, Quinn is still the target. Okay, they did not switch it to Leah for that. Okay. So then Quinn and Leah, they seem to have no idea that the veto was going to be used and that Quinn would be going up on the block. Uh-oh. So, however, Chemo noticed that Angela went to bed happy, and that made him very nervous, very paranoid. Because why is she so happy? She's up on the block right now. She knows. Rubina and T-Core are telling Chemo, go talk to Chelsea. If you're nervous, go talk to her, see what's going on, check in. Do you think he did that? No. He went to lie down instead. I'm sorry, but Chemo is like barely gaming anymore. He's basically just there. And last week I was thinking, okay, he's like really bummed that Tucker's gone. He's on slop, so he's upset about that. But like, he's not on slop this week. And he got his ass saved last week with that flipped vote. So you think he would be like re-energized, but he just like hasn't been doing anything. So Chelsea ended up approaching Chemo and she let him in on the plan to calm him down a bit. And she's telling him, you should be safe with Quinn on the block next to you. We have the votes to take Quinn out. So Chelsea's telling Chemo, don't tell anyone about this, right? Keep it on the down low. But you know that he spilled the T-Core, and then T-Core later told Rubina about it. So T-Core, hearing that Quinn is going to be going up, she's like, all right, we got to change up our game plan now. We're going to have to work on our relationship with Leah so that we can pull her in once Quinn is gone. She's not upset about Quinn leaving. If anything, she's upset that she's not the HOH that gets to take him out because she would love to have that satisfaction. But no, she's ready for Quinn to go, especially if he's up on the block against Chemo. She doesn't want to lose Chemo. So she's saying we got to refocus our efforts on pulling in Leah. She's always thinking ahead, right? So this morning, Chelsea told Quinn that McKenzie will be using the veto. And Chelsea says that Leah was up until 5 a.m. pushing for Quinn to go up on the block. Now, I see what Chelsea's trying to do here. She is trying to place the blame for Quinn going up on Leah. Now, Leah did talk to McKenzie and Chelsea until like 5 in the morning. That is true. However, she was not really trying to push for Quinn to go up. If anything, she was trying to keep him safe, but she was being like really clumsy about it. So, also, Chelsea and McKenzie were on a freaking major power trip during this conversation with Leah. They were being really condescending towards her, and Leah definitely picked up on that, and she is not happy with them right now. But yeah, it was just like HOH-itis meets POV-itis, and it was weird. So Quinn is like, well, if I was HOH, I would stay true to the 5. And the 5 that he's referring to are the ones that the ones that voted out Tucker 2 weeks ago. So Quinn is telling Chelsea, I would not put you up on the block. I have your back. And he's suggesting maybe like Rubina as a nominee. Or he's like, what if McKenzie just like doesn't use the veto? Why is she doing this? So the feeds cut during their conversation. We didn't get to hear the rest of it. But they did have the POV ceremony. Oh my goodness. And McKenzie used the veto on Angela. She wasn't even wearing the veto shirt, and it still happened. She was, that white and blue striped shirt that she wore the first 2 times she was saved. She wasn't wearing it this time, but it doesn't matter. McKenzie still used it on her. Oh my goodness. I believe Angela has broken a record with this. This is her 3rd time being saved by somebody else with the veto, and that is the record. Nobody else has been saved 3 times in one season by other people. So that's amazing. Also, the veto streak is still alive. 8 weeks and 8 vetoes used this season. That's insane. So Chelsea put Quinn up on the block in Angela's place. So we have Quinn versus Chemo. And I believe we did hear later on that Chelsea did tell Quinn ahead of time that he would be going up on the block. So this was not like a huge shock to him. I mean, I'm sure he was still in shock just from finding out that he was going to be going up, but he did not find out at the ceremony that was happening. So yeah, Quinn versus Chemo up on the block. Oh my God. So after the feeds come back, McKenzie and Chemo are chatting outside, and McKenzie's telling him, don't freak out. I know you're probably confused about what just happened. You might be weirded out by me using the veto on Angela, but I want you to know it's nothing against you. It's not like I had some sort of a deal with Angela. It's just like this was the best way for things to work for everybody. So she says Quinn is the target, and we do have the votes to take him out. So if you hear anything sus around the house, come to me. Tell me about it. I love you. It's going to be okay. Okay. So then we have Leah and Quinn chatting in the pedal bedroom. And it sounds like maybe they were called out as a duo at the ceremony, and maybe Chelsea said like she wants to break the 2 of them up or something. But they're not happy about it. Leah points out there is a trio in the house, a very obvious trio of T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina. Why are we not breaking that up? Also, Quinn and Leah don't see themselves as a duo. I mean, they're definitely working together. Leah will throw Quinn under the bus at the drop of a hat, but they're kind of a duo at this point. So Quinn's like, we don't even hold hands because Leah hasn't wanted to. I'm sure. Whatever. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I think at this point, Leah is more upset than Quinn. She's realizing she messed up last week by using the veto on Angela because Angela turned around and threw them under the bus. And Quinn is having his I told you so moment, right? Because he told her this was probably going to happen, and he was right. So Leah is also really pissed at McKenzie right now. She feels like McKenzie is being used as a puppet. She says nobody in this house has Mackenzie's back the way that I do. Girl, Leah has tried to throw McKenzie under the bus so many times and vice versa. So like, no. That's a lot. But Quinn is trying to count up his potential votes this week, and he's hoping that he has Leah, Cam, McKenzie. Why would you think that? Why do you think you're on the block right now? Like, ugh, I'm glad he's being optimistic, but also like he could use maybe a little dose of realism. I don't know. But he says he feels like at this point he can only lose votes. He's not going to gain any because he figures Chemo has T-Core, Rubina, and Angela like locked for him. He's not going to take any of those away. So he just has to maintain the votes that he has and hope that Chelsea would break a tie in his favor. Okay. I don't think he's got all those votes. I think if anything, he has like Leah's vote, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, maybe Leah's vote. But in other news, Angela's saying she had no idea that this was going to happen. I mean, she knew that there was a strong possibility that she'd be coming down, but I don't think McKenzie ever confirmed to her 100% that she was going to be using the veto. But I honestly think that Angela deserves a good deal of credit for what happened here with this veto, because if she didn't start talking about how she thought Quinn and Leah were in an alliance with the trio, I don't know that this move would have happened, right? So she did do something here. It wasn't just somebody using the veto on her to do something else. Like Angela was partially responsible for this for sure. So I think she can add that to her resume. She can add that argument. But anyway, Quinn is being very chill right now. I think he's partially still in shock. I haven't seen him like cry or anything. I think he's still in shock. I think he's also hoping that he's still going to stay. But Leah is taking it way harder than Quinn is, and it is only growing the target on her own back. She's basically making herself the number one target for next week with the way she's acting. So we'll see what happens with all of that. We've got 3 days left until the eviction. It's not looking good for Quinn right now, but you never know what could happen in this house over the next few days. So thank you all so much for being here. It has been a very entertaining few days. Honestly, it's been an entertaining like 60 days or wherever we're at. Like this season has been delivering week after week. So I'm very happy to see that continue. But I want to thank all of our super chatters. Jody Cortez, thank you so much. Jody says, "Oh, hi, she lives. She must have secret powers," I say. Angela, she's really surprised me. And I would love to see her make it all the way to the end. I just think that would be amazing. So I'm rooting for her. Susan Pengili, thank you so much. We really appreciate it as always. Mwah, blow a kiss. Christopher Brown, thank you so much. Christopher says this move really benefits T-Core and her trio the most out of the whole house. I do agree. I think it benefits her big time. And now I think Leah is definitely going to try to work with that trio. So they're pretty much gaining another number, and they don't have to waste an HOH week for one of them taking the shot at Quinn because Chelsea's already taking care of that for them. So yeah, definitely helping that trio out. Shane Wright, thank you so much. Really appreciate it as always. Ange H Plays, thank you. And Angela says, Angela saved yet again. Woo! So excited she gets another week. The gift that keeps on giving. I know. She really just has been so entertaining. Who knew? Who knew that we were going to get an Angela this season? True Teddy, thank you so much. True Teddy says Angela is going to Lisa walk her way to the final two, and I'm here for it. I know, right? This season has been giving even when I thought it would be a boring week. Yeah, they always find a way to do the most ridiculous thing possible. And I think part of that is because so many of them are not familiar with this game. We have so many recruits this season. So a lot of people are doing really stupid stuff, but it's also great that they don't the fact that they don't know the game as well, they're not like falling into the typical gameplay that we've seen over the last however many seasons that's just like dry and stale and nobody wants to stick their neck out. So it's been super entertaining and I really appreciate that. So here we go. I will be back tomorrow for more. I hope you will join me for that. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday night. And until tomorrow, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.